Hello everybody, Ron, aka Daddy Geek here, with another Disney Infinity 2.0 Toy Box tutorial. And in this video, I'm going to go over the Toy Box doors and creative ways you can use the Toy Box door to transport you into a new interior, a new toy box that's connected to your world, so you can make multiple levels, if you will, multiple worlds, and connect them all together into your toy box. The static way to do it, the default way, is you see that blue door behind me. Normally you'd walk up to that door, the door opens up, and ask you, do you want to go to whatever level you assign the door to? And that's fine and dandy, except for, the door itself, as you see, it kind of doesn't go with the cottage theme that we have going on in the background. And besides that, there just might be other ways that you want to use the door to transition to another level, excuse me, but without actually using the door. And I'm going to show you, it might not make sense now, but I'm going to show you as we go here, different ways you can use a door. Real quick before we do that though, a couple things about the door. For one, you'll find the door that we're talking about. It's called the Toy Box door. That is in your Creativitoys. Make sure you don't confuse the Toy Box door with the interior door. The Toy Box door is the one that will take you to other levels that you create, or a brand new interior that you created. The interior door, while it may sound like it will take you to an interior, so for example, if you put this on the side of that house, it says, you might think to yourself, hey, this will take me to a new interior. It doesn't. It actually takes you to something called My Interior, which is a whole separate level that teaches you all about the interior, how to decorate it, how you get a bunch of quest givers and things of that nature. That's not something you want to use when you're creating a toy box. You want to use this little guy right here. It's called Toy Box Door. Alright, and one other thing. When you enter and exit a door, when you enter a door and it loads a new level, by default it places you in that level wherever the default spawn location is. So for example, that door right there is going to lead into an interior. It's going to place us in the default location of that interior. When we exit back into this toy box, it's going to spawn us wherever the default spawn location is set. We need to change that. So when we come out, when we go into this interior door and we come back out, we want it to place the player right where that blue locator is, right in front of the door. So it kind of, looks like you actually came out of the door. So in order to do that, if you select the locator, first you have to place one down. This is in the Creativitoys. And bring up its properties. It has one option, and that says Door Destination Tag. This tells the door where to spawn you when you come back through it. So for this example, we're going to say Door Destination Tag, default is none. We're going to select number 1. You can go 1 through 5 per toy box. Not per level that you make, but per toy box. So we set that to 1. So we're going to make a change when we go inside of our interior here. So when we come back out, we will spawn right there at that locator. So let's see what a default door does real fast, and I'll show you what I mean. And I already set this up. It's just called empty room. So we're going to go ahead in. We get the loading screen. Just keep loading. Just keep loading. They really should get rid of the Infinity logo and have Dory swim by as it's loading, and she can be singing, just keep loading, just keep loading. Maybe I just like Finding Nemo too much. Anyway, when you create a brand new interior, this is what you get. You get a 3-door room that the game refers to as a lobby. And there's your door exiting back out to the toy box we were just in. This is fine and dandy. I mean, you can customize the walls, you can add furniture, you can pretty much do what you can do with any type of room. However, you cannot change the layout of this room. It's always going to be the static lobby, shaped just like this with 3 doors. For example, if you go into the editor, you won't be able to go into Spark mode. You won't be able to delete this door no matter what. Even after you connect multiple rooms, you cannot delete this room. Which we're going to show in an example here in a few minutes. You may not always want the door to lead to this generic stock room every time you come into a new room. It would get kind of repetitive and kind of old, and I'm going to show you how we can fix that. But for now, let's just get back into our previous toy box. And before we do that, remember that locator we put out in the toy box? This is where we're going to make our connection. So we bring up the properties of the toy box door. The destination is already set by default to the original toy box that you created. So for example, I named that toy box door tutorial. So there you go, it's already listed. And I already had this door set to destination locator tag. I'm going to reset this real fast to none so you can see what it would look like. So when you first bring this up, you'll see destination locator tag. Say that 3 times fast. It says none. What we want to do is we want to switch that to the same number as that locator we just placed. So we're going to name that as 1. So now when we go back through this door, it should spawn us right there at that locator facing the direction that we want to. So let's test it out and see if it works. This helps you control where your player will spawn, which it's really nice to have a direct control of everything that happens in the toy box that you create. It just makes for a much better experience. And as you can see, we spawn right where we wanted to, right on top of this locator. Kind of looks like Thor's riding the locator, but you know, let's get off there. That doesn't look comfortable for poor Thor. And the other thing about the locators is, I mentioned this in a previous video, but you see that little light blue triangle at the very tip there? That indicates which direction the locator is facing. So from when we spawn in, we'll be facing this direction, which is exactly what we want. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, we're going to change things up a little bit. If you take a look over here, we have another cottage, but this time we don't have the door right in front of the door. If that makes any sense. We don't have that guy, the toy box door, right in front of that, fake door, that's part of the cottage. Now you can take that door that we have there, the toy box door, and you can hide it anywhere you want on your level. You do not need to have it placed directly where you want your transition to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up to where, say the player is in a village, they walk up to this door here, they walk up to this area, and Agent Coulson there, who we got standing there nodding his head, he's going to ask us if we want to go to the S.H.I.E.L.D. secret base. We're going to pretend that, S.H.I.E.L.D. is in this village and they have set up a secret base inside this house. So we're going to set that up, and we're going to have it activate that door and move us into a new level without actually physically having to walk through the door. So here's how we do that. Alright, first things first, we want to set up our door. So you're going to come over here, select your door, go under properties, and you need to select the destination. For this, we're going to do new toy box, and we're going to do new interior. And then we need to give it a name, and in this case we're just going to name it secret base. Real simple, real fast. And just hit save, and now it's going to create the connection. It's going to link the toy boxes, okay? You get the little thing that says door link complete, as you can see. Locator tag, we're going to change that to 1. And that way, when we're going to place a locator in the new interior, and that's where we're going to spawn when we enter, this new secret base. We're going to leave the require confirmation on. That simply just means that the player has to confirm that they actually want to travel to there. And in most cases, you're going to want to keep that on. But later on, I'm going to show you a case where you might not want to have that confirmation active. So we can back out of there. And the reason why we're able to rename that number 1, that locator 1, the destination tag, is because that applies to the toy box we're going into, not this current one. So when we come back out of that hut, out of that secret base, we're going to want to spawn here. So we need to adjust the properties once again of this locator. Go to properties, door destination tag. Now we're going to name it 2. If we name this one number 1, we would end up spawning back at that previous we would spawn back at that previous locator, which we don't want to do. It sounds a little confusing, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. Now the next thing we're going to do is we need to set up how we're going to activate the door that we just created. So what we're going to do is we're going to go mess with our text tool. We're going to bring up the properties of that. and we are going to do textile. We're going to do proposal, and we're going to create a quick line of text, and we're just going to sit there and say, let's see, we'll do enter secret base, and just add a question mark here, and we're done. Okay, and now, since we're already on the text creator, we're going to do a new logic connection. We're going to say text proposal accepted, and we're going to target the door. And as you can see, the only option that comes up says change level. So now when the player accepts that line of text, they're going to automatically be sent to that new location, to that new level, or in this case a new interior, without actually having to physically walk through the door. Now we just need one more thing to activate the text creator, to activate the whole setup to where we actually get into the room. That's simply just we're going to use a trigger area, which I've already placed and resized. New logic connection, entered, player, any, and just select the text creator. And now you're just going to do display text 1. So now, real quick, the setup is you walk into this trigger area, a text comes up, it says enter secret base, you accept, and it's going to take us to a brand new interior. So let's test it out and make sure that it works. Walk in, enter secret base, continue. Now you're going to get a second confirmation which says travel to secret base. We can make a change on this. We could have it to where the text just popped up over Agent Coulson's head, and then after the text disappeared, then we get the confirmation. That might be a little bit cleaner way to do it, but for now, this will work. And so we're going to hit enter secret base, and now we're going to get taken right to the secret base. Well, we're going to get taken into, a new interior, and I'm going to show you how to make it so you don't spawn in that generic room that you always get. We're going to actually make it look like a secret base. Okay, so once again, as I was saying, you're in a random generic area. So what we need to do is we need to change that. So bring up your editor and bring up your rooms. Now, you'll notice you can't place a room anywhere you want. You has to be connected to a door. So what we're going to do is let's grab a long hallway, and you'll see why in a minute. Connect these doors. If you never connected doors in an interior room, it's simply you have to line up the doors. You'll see the little icon there animate, and you know you got a good connection. So we're going to place that hallway. And now let's actually give us a secret base. Let's do this command center because it looks like a secret base. So let's connect this to the hallway, spin it around, whoops, bring it back, plop her down, and there we go. Now, it's all fine and dandy, but we still need to set up our spawn locator, and we also need to set up a door to get back out. So here's what we're going to do. We need 2 creativity toys to make this work. So first thing we're going to need is a toy box door. Real quick, in this room, if you've never used it before, you got to be careful where you place things because you have an elevator, and both down there in your bottom left that you see, and then one right over to my left that takes you to the upper level. So you need to be careful not to block those elevators. So a good spot for right now for us to put this door is, we're going to say right here. That looks okay. It's not perfect, but for this tutorial it'll work. And we need one more thing. We need a locator. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this guy right here. Looks good. Now it's time to make our connections. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up the properties of this door. We need to basically create a door to go back into the toy box is what we're doing. So go to properties, destination, you want the original toy box, which is called door tutorial in this example. Destination locator, we want 2. That corresponds with that number 2 locator that we put directly outside the door. And we want confirmation on. Leave that alone. That's it for the door. Now we need to do one more thing, and we got to bring up the properties for our locator, and we're going to give it a destination tag. And we told the door that got us here to use number 1 locator as our destination tag, so that's what we just did. So we set that up. So now when we come back in here, The next time we should spawn right where that locator is. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's great, but look, you can still see that hallway in the other room. Not for long. We can change that. Bring up your editor, go into Spark mode. Now, you still can't delete this room. No matter how many rooms you add, no matter what you do, you'll never be able to delete or change the layout of this room. So what we're going to do is just come over here, delete the hallway. That is it. Exit Spark mode, get back in here, and now, as you can see, we're in this room. We can't go through that door because it's no longer connected to anything, and we feel like we walked in magically somehow. Shield has transformed that little cottage into a secret base. So let's get out of here and let's see if this works. So now when we go back, there we go. When we go back, it should spawn us right outside the door, and we'll turn right around, we'll come right back, and it should put us right in that secret base. So now you could use this as in any other way you wanted to. So it doesn't have to be the secret base. If you wanted, say you have a cottage like we have in this example, and you wanted, when you entered the cottage, you wanted it to feel more like the proper size for a cottage, not a big 4-door room that you first enter. You can do that. You can just set up same way, connect the hallway, connect the room that you want, and then place your door and your spawner in there, and same thing, delete the hallway. And as you see, we spawned right where we wanted to, and here we are. We're right back where we needed to be. Now, when we go back in, we should spawn in the secret base. Let's see if that works. Enter secret base, travel to secret base, and once the loading screen is done, we should be right where we set that spawn location. I apologize if I'm going a little too fast. I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can into this video, and keeping it within a relative length, relatively short length. It's hard to do because a lot of these Creativitoys require multiple connections, and I really want to try to explain them the best I can. And voila, as you see, here we are. We're right back in our secret base, and it's like magic. It's like, Shield set up a secret base inside that cottage, and when you come in, think of the if you've seen the Harry Potter movies, think of that. Think of how they walk into, or read the books, even better. You walk into, Harry walks into that tent in the Quidditch game, and boom, it's a big, wide open, big giant area. It looks like a small tent from the outside, but it's huge on the inside. Kind of like what we just did here, but it's a Shield base. All right, so let's just hurry up and get back, and I'm going to show you a couple more ways to use doors. Not just with these doors, but with a lot of the toys. Don't be shy about experimenting with all these different Creativitoys to use them in ways that weren't meant to be used. If you follow the directions on the actual Creativitoy and whatnot, or you use some of the templates, you can see some basic examples of how to do stuff, and they're awesome. Like the templates, if you haven't used them yet, I'm going to do a tutorial video on those. They're fantastic. Even if you don't want to actually use the template itself, it will save you so much time. You can customize the templates to your heart's content. As you can see, Agent Coulson moved on us, but other than that, everything looks fine. Right now, as of this current build with the game, the Agent Coulson, not Agent Coulson, but any of the NPCs seem to be a little wonky sometimes. They can, even when you tell them to stand still, they can move around a little bit. They can get misplaced, but it's, it happens, no big deal. Let's see, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to connect a few other Creativitoys to the doors. For example, we have the Castle Gate here from Brave. So say you have a big giant toy box and you filled it with a lot of toys, or even if you haven't really filled the meter up that much. But you want, when you enter this Castle Gate, you want it to transport you to a whole new toy box where you've kind of created a castle courtyard and the whole castle, dungeons, the whole 9 yards. But you want that to be a separate toy box, just to keep things clean and simple and keep all the logic connections for that castle in a whole separate toy box world. Well, instead of just, like, say, placing that door there on the side of the castle here, which would look completely out of place and kind of silly, we're going to actually make it so when you walk through that gate, you get transported into a new world. And this one is very simple. What we're going to do is we'll start with the door. And as always, bring up its properties. We're going to set a destination, and we're going to say new toy box, empty toy box. And for this one, we're going to give it a name, and we're just going to, real quick for this example, we're just going to call it Castle. Nothing too fancy here, folks. And save. And now it's just going to link that door to a completely empty regular toy box. Alright, and we'll do destination locator tag. We're going to, once again, give it a number 1, keep it simple. Keep the confirmation on. Now let's back out. And let's change this locator as well. And we are up to number 3 at this point. So we're going to do properties, door destination tag, and we're going to do number 3. So when we come back out of the castle, this is where we're going to spawn. Alright, so now you select the castle. And new logic connection, open. So when the gate opens, it's going to take us to a whole new world. Alright, so now once we do that, it should work. There should be no problems here. So let's see what happens. To the gate, travel to the castle. Continue. Now obviously you really wouldn't want to be looking at a blank sky there, so you could just fake it. Throw some stuff in the background, some castle looking stuff in the background, so it kind of looks like you're going into the castle. It can have like a courtyard, throw a quick courtyard in there. And here we are. We're in a blank, empty toy box. Now, first problem you're going to notice once you get here, the very first thing you need to do is you need to set up a way to get back. We're going to plop down a toy box door, just because we're not going to customize this world. This is just an example. And we need to grab our locator, which is over here, and plop it down. Okay, so now 2 things need to be done. We're just going to change the properties of this locator and give it a destination tag of 1. So this is where we spawn when we come in here. And we need to change our door. We need to change that to destination, go back to the toy box we were in, destination locator tag number 3, and we'll leave the confirmation on. It's the same setup, it's just we're just using different ways to get there. So that's it. Now we'll go back through here and it should take us right back. Oops. As I fight with the door, we should go right back to the toy box. Now there's more examples than, I have 2 more examples to show you, and there's more examples than that that you can do, but just start experimenting, come up with ideas. Worst you can do is it doesn't work, and you just go back and try again. So as you can see, we're right back here. Now you do notice that the gate is closed, is left open. We can change that. We can use a couple more connections, maybe another logic connection or 2 to have that close when we come back. For now, I'm just going to leave that. That's unnecessary for this video, and I don't want to make it any longer than it already is. But no big deal. Alright, so now we're going to also show you one thing that I think is one of the coolest features of the doors, and that's that it allows you to travel within the actual toy box itself. The door doesn't have to necessarily link to a whole another toy box. You can actually use it to teleport you to different parts of the current toy box. So that's what we're going to do real quick right here. What we got set up here is there's our door, and again, you can move the door anywhere you want. You don't have to leave it there. It can be hidden completely off screen somewhere. The setup we're going to have here is we're going to walk up to the Evil Queen. She's going to be annoyed with us, and she's going to say, "Be gone!" and she's going to teleport us over into the middle of that lava back there. So that could be, you can use that for very creative ways in your toy box during fights, during anything. I mean, you can literally really come up with some creative techniques doing this. So what we need to do is, first things first, we got to mess with our door. Let's go get that into the properties. We're going to leave the destination door tutorial, which is the name of this toy box. So it's only going to spot, when we go through this door, it's going to actually, instead of taking us to a new world, it's going to keep us here, but it's going to take us to a different tag. We're going to name this one 5, the very last one. And we're going to turn off the confirmation. That way, when she banishes us, we don't get to choose whether or not she banishes us. We just get banished. So now let's back out of that. And the next thing we need to do is change this locator. So grab it real quick, go to properties, door destination tag, and once again we'll name it number 5. So now that is where that door is going to take us to wherever we place this locator. And in this case, we're going to grab it, we're going to move it, we're going to go put it here in the middle of the lava. Now, you could be pretty evil and not have a safe zone in the middle of the lava, but just so I didn't have to kill myself and respawn, we're going to just go put it over there for demonstration purposes. So now when we enter that door, it's going to take us over there. Now we need a way to activate that door that seems kind of natural. So what we're going to do is we're going to, once again, use the text tool. Now, we're going to add a couple special effects when we do this, but we'll see how much time we got if we're running out of time. Let's see. Alright, bring up the text creator, go to properties. We're going to do text style. We're going to actually do, this time, we're going to do connected actor. And we'll give it a quick line. Let's see. We'll do be gone. As you can see, I've used these phrases many times before and the game remembers. Let's see, be gone. Alright. Get that text accepted. And now what we want to do is, we got connected actor. We're good. Now we need to make the actual connection to the actor. In this case, it is going to be the Evil Queen. So let's get over here, let's target her, and we'll connect her. Just choose actor. So now that text will pop up directly above her head. Alright, so now we also need to have the text creator activate the door. So what we're going to do is you're going to bring up the door, you're going to go new logic connection, specific line dismissed, text line 1, and select our door. Select the door, change level, and that's it. So now when that text line is read by her and gone, she will teleport us. Let's add just a few more steps to this though to make it a little bit more interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a effects generator to that. So first thing we're going to do, grab your effects generator. We're going to do new locator connection and target this little guy here. Put down a new locator and target it. And we're going to make the effects appear here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to we'll leave it there for right now. And now we need to make a connection from the text creator to the effects generator. So what we're going to do is new logic connection, specific line dismissed, text line 1, select our effects generator, play once, and when you first bring it up, it only gives you a few small choices. It's obviously a bug because there's many more choices than that. So once you make the initial connection, choose whatever you want out of that list, and just go back. Bring up that effects generator link. Click it one more time, and now you get a much longer list. And in this case, since it's the Evil Queen, we're going to use Violet Energy, which I think looks pretty cool for this effect. So we've now set up the actual effect itself, and now all we need to do is just move the locator, but we'll wait one more step before we do that, just so we don't have a hard time selecting things. So what we're going to do is now we need to trigger the text itself. So we're going to do the trigger area once again, which is in front of the queen. New logic connection, enter, player, any, and just select our text creator. Display text 1, and that's it. Now let's move our locator, and we're going to place it as close as we can to the queen. We'll put it, matter of fact, we'll put it right next to her. So that way it looks like she cast a spell to teleport us away. So let's test this out. Let's see if this works. So we come up here. She says, "Be gone." Poof. And we're gone. Now, the effects happen quickly, so it's, you might not see it, but it's there. And if sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Depends on your lag in the game, but it's there. So trust me. So as you see, we use that door to teleport us over here. You do get a quick loading screen. It's nowhere near as long as if you're traveling to another toy box, but it's still kind of cool. It's a nice little addition to your toy box that you can do. If you don't need all those doors for going to other levels, it's a great way to make use of all the options the doors have to you. We have one more quick one that I'm going to go over, and then that'll be the end of this video. Another way you can do things is, if you played any kind of RPG, any type of game, you've seen before where, like, when they want to give you loading screens and you transition from one town to another, usually you get there through walking down a long road or going over a bridge, and that's what we're going to do in this case. We're going to do a long bridge. So what we'll do is we need to have our door and a place that it triggers. And now I added a text generator here. It's unnecessary, but and I'm going to actually skip it because the video is getting too long. But the idea would be is you use that text generator to make it so when you walk by the sign, a little thing appears saying this way to whereverville. Actually, you know what? We're gonna do that. We are going to do that because you know it's already 30. This video is already 30 minutes long anyway. So why don't we just make it a couple more minutes longer? It's really not going to kill anybody, I don't think. All right. So real quick, go into properties, text style. We're going to do. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do middle. Just something simple. You know what? No, let's change that. Let's do banner. It's a little bit easier to see. We'll do banner. We're just going to type in something really fast. Let's see. We'll just type in this way. That's it. Don't even have to say where it's going. Just this way. Just for, you know, you can name it anything you want to name the toy box you're going into. All right, and that's it. We'll leave that alone. Now we need a trigger area for that. So what we're going to do is, let's see. First off, let's mess with this little locator right here. We need to turn it around. This is going to be our return point when we come back to the toy box, just like we did with the doors. We'll leave that there. And we'll highlight it real fast. We'll change that to locator. And we only have, oops, wrong thing. I messed that up. Go to properties, door destination tag, and we're going to name it 3. That's the only one that's, no, wrong one. Pardon me, 4. That's the only one that's left. You only have 5 to choose from, so be picky. So that's our return point. Now, you don't see the door, and that's because I hit it. It's underneath the bridge here. So what we're going to do is we need to set up the door. Just get over there, target it. This is just to show you that you do not need to have the door right there. You don't need to have it out anywhere. Alright, you don't need to have it visible to the player. So we're going to do destination, new toy box, empty toy box, and we're going to name this one, let's see. We're just going to name it the same thing we named the sign, just to make it quick. This way. And save. So now we've made a new town, a new world. Destination locator tag, we're going to, well, once again, just select 1 to keep things simple. We'll keep the confirmation on. And that takes care of that. We need one more quick little thing here. We need a, I'm going the wrong way. We need a trigger area, once again. Our favorite standby toy here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop this guy right here into the middle of the bridge, I think would be a good spot. We're going to pop him down right there. We also need another trigger area right here, and I'm not going to resize it just so we can make quick work of this video. So real quick, grab the trigger area, entered, player, any, and we'll tell the text creator to display text 1. That's real simple, and now we need to target the larger trigger area up here on the bridge, entered, player, any, and we're going to tell it to activate this door. Change level. And there we go. So now when we walk by here, first we're going to get the little banner this way, and again, just name it whatever you want to name that new town or wherever you want this bridge to take you to. You walk up, and ta-da! Travel this way. Hit continue, and pardon me. And that's it. We're into yet another level. And once again, once you get over there, just same thing as before. We're gonna quickly pop down a door and a locator, and that's it. And we'll get back to our original toy box, and I think that's going to be the end. So once again, real quick, just bring up. We need two things. We need, if I can find them, wrong direction. We need a door and a locator. So there's our locator. We'll pop her down, and we'll scroll way over here and find ourselves a door. And good enough, right there. Same thing, no difference. All we're going to do is just highlight the door, properties, right back to the original toy box. Locator is going to be, we need 4, confirmation on, get out of there, highlight our locator, properties, door destination tag 1, and again, once you've customized this area, you know, made this a whole new world, whatever, you can obviously move the door and move the locator to wherever you feel is the best place to put it. So, right back to the original toy box we go. The silence is deafening. Sorry, I ran out of clever things to say during the loading screen. And we're back. And as you see, we're right back where we needed to be. It's like we came right back over the bridge. And that is a few samples of how to use the doors and how to creatively transition from one area to another. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Look for more tutorials coming very soon. And that's it. Go out there, get creative, have some fun. Take care. Bye-bye.